The whole map basically is filled with new features and stuff. You have new resources, you have new animals, new POIs. That's the new tier of buildings that we are presenting on Halmare Isle. That's definitely something that I'm super happy about, that finally we can present this to players. The new tier is presented in Rushshore, but also in Cragkeep in the city. And we also delivered in this update the first building that the player can actually build in his own village, and that's the distillery. So yeah, I'm super happy that the new tier is finally out and we can develop it further. So why Mediterranean climate? We really wanted to create something that's gonna be a continuing story for Karvinia, but at the same time, we really wanted to have a new experience, new adventure, new climate, new mood. Mediterranean Island was from the beginning a working title. Basically, it's not like we wanted to mimic a specific land or country. The most important thing was to create something that's known for the player, that he can identify with, that he's gonna feel like cozy and good in it, but at the same time not naming it specifically. How different was designing Karvinia from designing a raid map? That's a very interesting question. First of all, Karvinia is still open. We still are planning to work. There's still a lot of ideas that we want to put in, while raid map is a place where we fully could explore all the ideas, all the inspirations. We basically could have fun with it.
All right, so what's the most exciting thing for me in Halmare Isles? I think for me the most exciting thing is the whole RPG aspect of this map, and also that it's now a narrative-driven thing. And for that, since I was also a part of like quest implementation, designing, like in participating in all the discussions regarding those, I can say that making branching was a challenge for us. And our mechanics, like quest mechanics that we are using on the Halmare Isles, are very different from Karvinia. They are much more complicated, even though they might not look like that for you as a player, but for us it was definitely a challenge. Yeah, I think that's the most exciting part for me, to basically try something new and see it's working.
All the factions that we have available on Halmare Isles is Falsgars, the first one. And the Falsgars are mostly the queen troops, the elite one, and kind of fierce sneak peek what can be shown in the future, and fierce encounter with who is the queen, what power she holds, and some little bit of story of the Halmare's people. Halmareans are the native of Halmare Isles. Like, you can guess that from the name, right? We try to make them feel like the Isles. Of course, they are kind of destroyed by the time and by what happened, but that is something that you will discover playing the game. And I would say that Halmareans are the book example of the good guys, but not really. You can, of course, discover it by yourself. And the last one is Cassians. We really had an issue with these ones, because if you meet the Cassians, you can think that, yeah, we have bad guys. They don't have any qualities that will make me like them or support their cause. But mostly because they are just different, and we really try to make them bad, but at the same time we wanted players to like them, like to show that each faction that you can support has something in them that you can kind of align with yourself and just have fun joining and discover more story about Cassians, Halmareans, and even Falsgars.
Okay, so what's the difference between gameplay on Carvinia and the new Halmare Isles? When we started iterating on it or started figuring out the gameplay of Halmare Isles, we first obviously wanted to continue with what we have on Carvinia already, which is obviously building a base, setting up buildings for harvesting new resources, and basically beating the main evil big guy on the map. But then we realized that the map itself is too small. Basically, we didn't want to make a huge map similar to Carvinia. We wanted to make a small map that you can visit from time to time. And then we wanted to try a different approach that we didn't have in Bellwright before. Yeah, we experimented a bit with some roguelike kind of games where you come to the island, you beat some evil guys, you obviously fail, then you try again, and that should be like happening until you reach the big bad evil guy. But that wasn't too great, to be honest. So we decided to just try an RPG approach with quests that are the main like story and gameplay drivers. And that for us worked out very well, because that's not stressing you as a player. That's kind of relaxing, because you're getting used to managing your big base with a lot of NPCs, a lot of different stuff that you need to keep in mind. And here, when you come to the Halmare Isles, you basically can relax a bit, you can enjoy the story beats, you can, just spend some spare time fighting some guys, exploring the map with new cool locations, settlements, storylines, with different branching of the stories that you can also, you don't need to finish the game, finish the raid map once. You can also try a different approach, because there are like at least 3 branches that I can tell you. But yeah, that was the main difference between gameplay on Carvinia and Halmare Isles.
In Carvinia, we had everything in line. You couldn't go out from what we expect player to do, and we kind of make it story really linear. But the Halmare Isles is something that we really wanted to, we had a lot of freedom, because we didn't have to really follow the game loop and support it. So we decided to experiment a little bit. So we added 3 roads that player can pick from and decide how he wants to play the game. And also, every choice you make in the main story will affect on the outcome. So it's not like in Carvinia. In Carvinia, it was more like you were doing something, but in Halmare Isles, we really tried to make your choices matter.
What was the most challenging thing on the new map? Definitely the difference in scale of our POIs. The first time we did a huge city like Crag Keep with the castle with walls, the new village Rastshore, also much bigger than on Carvinia, also quite challenging for us, but also much more fun. You can also find on Halmare Isle some new caves. That's the first time that we presented those. But I think that new things are still coming. We are thinking about adding more tunnels. But yeah, definitely still developing and searching for ideas.
It's up to you to discover what you can catch on our new map.